Did you know you can now catch your doctor cheating the government? That's right. The data's all out there. You can see it. It's on the internet. But more importantly, see, in this country, we spend twice as much per person on health care than we do in any other developed country. And the government pays about 60% of all the costs in healthcare. So that's right, if you could find things that will save us money in the healthcare system, actually the government even gives you a bonus if you do. But it's also the data we have now available because they released all the Medicare data, all the doctor data, what they sign, and all this, the chits they send to get paid is now public information for 2012. There's about 200 million doctor visits. So you could see what every doctor is billing, how much they do, how much they charge, what they're doing and everything. It's all public information in a database. And this database is on the internet. If you Google ProPublica, that's an organization that does investigative reporting, and they took all this data and put it on a searchable database for the consumer. So if you Google ProPublica treatment tracker, go to that and you'll see. Because see, what happens is that people, when they start looking, if we look at this data a lot, and it's funny they never used it before, we could find holes in the system. People are churning. Like your stockbroker calls you up every day, hey, let's buy this, let's sell that, let's buy this. Now their motive to do that, the stockbroker, is because they make a commission. They don't, whether you're losing money or whatever, but they're making money every time you buy or sell. So the doctors can do the same thing. And see, another thing that doctors do is that they determine how much they're going to charge Medicare by how much complicated they think your situation is. So they could grade it from a number 1 to a number 5, and most are number 3s. But there's some doctors now that this ProPublica looked in the data, found there's a doctor out in Michigan who has 90% of all the people that come to visit him are considered, actually 97%, are considered a stage 5. Very, very complicated. So he could charge the most. And actually what he does, he's treat people an average of 8 times per person. So how do they be going 8 times a year? That's an average. So somebody's going 20 or 30 times. So we better fix this. And you're very complicated the second time, not only the first time. See, I guess in a doctor's visits, they know the case, and it shouldn't be that complicated the second time unless the person's getting worse or something. So, these are red flags. See, and you could go in now to this database and see these red flags too for your doctor. If you go to a treatment tracker from ProPublica, you could put in the doctor's name, the doctor's state, and it'll pop out. It'll show you how much money they're getting for what, from the government, from Medicare. So that is for people with disabilities having government paid, or seniors that are having government paid. And I did it for my doctor here. And she looks pretty normal. And then you could see the number of patients, the services performed, the average service per patient. So how many times a patient has to come back because they're not fixed yet. The total paid by Medicare. Then it also shows the times performed. It lists all the things they do because they have numbers for everything they do. So how many times they do each procedure, where they rank in the state of doing that procedure. How many patients have they done that procedure on? How many unique visits? The average time the person has to come in. And you have that data publicly. And then you could hit another link and see that data for everybody else who performs that kind of procedure in your state and compare doctors. Man, we've never had data like that before. It's amazing. It's funny the government didn't use that to try to cut down on expenses, but I guess they didn't get to it yet. So that's why we as consumers can, and really, tackle this healthcare over cost. You see, my doctor, she has, I think 10% of her patients are in that category 5, where they charge the most. But it compares your doctor to the state average, which is 7, which is sort of, it's in the range. Now this guy in Michigan, 97% of his people are in category 5, where in the state average is only 7%. So man, there may be an answer. So if there's an answer, you got to ask the question, and you need the data to be able to ask a question. And then see, you could get all the top providers in your state and get that data for every procedure and everything. It's phenomenal. I mean, it's better than Consumer Reports. Because Consumer Reports wouldn't have all this kind of information. That's why you follow the money. And here's some interesting data that is on this. It says that California leads the United States in earwax removals. Okay, in 2012 they had 137,000 earwax procedures performed, and there's one physician assistant in Cleveland, Tennessee. I thought it was in Ohio. I guess there's another Cleveland in Tennessee. All their patients get an average of 4.5 procedures done. So all their earwax patients have it done 4.5 times. Well, that's a little fishy. Maybe they got more ears than the rest of us. So get this data, start looking at it, see how you could use it. Healthcare is very important. If like 20% of the whole economy is healthcare, so that's why that's your money too that's out there. So you go Google ProPublica treatment tracker, get the data. And also remember, if you find your doctors maybe cheating Medicare, you go to the Medicare fraud hotline, and they'll offer up to like $1,000 reward. But it's more important for you to be doing this, to take care. You want to find the doctors that are best for you, giving you the best dollar, the best treatment per dollar. That's the important part, that you're getting treated with the best medicine.